You've probably heard people say your vibe attracts your tribe, but your frequency isn't just a vibe. It's the coordinates for your internal GPS, your ticket to ride your highest timeline. And this month, that roadmap gets activated. So the real question becomes, when life gets bumpy, what's your frequency calibrated to? What direction does it move you in? Hey, if you're new here, I'm Anik, your empowerment coach. I guide solid people like you through deep inner work and intuitive strategy so that you can live a prosperous life without compromising your values. So let's dive into the July collective consciousness energy forecast together. If it's felt like the world's been splitting in two lately, you're not imagining things. And for years now, I've been shown a shift coming, a timeline divergence, two paths forming, one moving forward into a new earth, one cycling through old stories. And July is where those timelines finally come to a fork in the road. One path leads into expansion, the frequency of curiosity, innovation, connection, and unity. And it focuses on what's possible. The other keeps looping through old paradigms. This is just how it's always been mindset, shaped by generational patterns, reinforced by virtue signaling, a new form of social conformity, and it feeds that illusion of separation, the us versus them mindset that keeps you locked in fear instead of unity. And you'll see this timeline split all around you. So some people are flowing even when the weather isn't perfect, while others are they look like they're swimming upstream, they're struggling, they're stuck in patterns, they're burning out. Now, this isn't about luck, it's about embodied frequency. This timeline convergence is like two earths coexisting in the same physical space, vibrating at different frequencies, layered in superposition. And depending on what frequency you're aligned with, you'll experience one or the other. So in July, not only does your vibe attract your vibe is your ticket to ride. And it's boarding time. Which track are you on? Timeline A or timeline B? The July energy is all about frequency sustainability. It's not about how high you can go when everything's going well. It's about how steady you can embody the frequency when things don't go to plan. And this month reveals your true energetic baseline, not just how you feel during meditation, but how you react when you spill your coffee or when you're stuck in traffic while already running late. That is the frequency you're actually co-creating with. Not the one that you set in your intentions, but the one that shows up when things get bumpy. I want to share with you some mile markers so that you know if you're on track for the gravy train. Take a moment to ask yourself, are you ruled by your triggers or inspired by life's shimmers? And shimmers are those micro moments of joy, beauty, and awe that remind you of the magic of life. It might be like light hitting the trees in the morning or a song that lights you up. Could be a moment of unexpected laughter. Are you embracing and nurturing those moments, or are you only reacting to the triggers that pull you out of sync? A great indicator of your embodied frequency is your subconscious expectations. Not your hopeful, inspired affirmations, but what do you actually expect or deeply fear? And here's how you know the difference. When something goes wrong or sideways, notice What is that knee-jerk reaction, that micro response when something unexpected shows up? Are you bracing or are you curious? What do you believe is about to happen? Are you staying in peace or working constantly to maintain it? Do you expect things to fall apart? Do you assume that it won't work out? Do you catch yourself thinking things like, oh, this always happens? Or, oh, great, now what? Or just my luck, right? That narrative will show you what your unconscious expectations are revealing about your true baseline frequency. And here's how to flip that script. When things shift, seed it with, how much better can this get? Look for the opportunity, not for the obstacle. Is it possible that running late could actually work out in my favor? And here's a red flag to watch for this month. If you constantly feel like you're fighting to feel good, to stay grounded, to find peace, to stay on track, whew, that's a sign that your inner world needs a tune-up. Think of it like an engine. When it's well calibrated and tuned, it hums beautifully and effortlessly, doesn't it? But when an engine has the timing that it's off, sure, it still runs, but it rattles like tick, 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 tick. And the ride, it's bumpy. And you're not going to get that sucker to hum without a proper tune-up. Here are some practices that will be super beneficial for you this month. My favorite, gratituding, as I like to call it. If you don't have a gratitude journal, there has never been a better time to start one. But not the vague kind, the specific about what you're grateful for kind. This shifts frequency fast. I really encourage you to try it. After listing just 5 things, you're already rewriting your mind to look for the blessings, the glimmers, the opportunities. And then the gratitude just starts to flow and your frequency follows suit. And this works especially well when you're specific. So instead of, I'm grateful for good weather, which is fine, say something like, I'm grateful for the way the sunlight flooded into my kitchen while I sipped my delicious coffee this morning. The more specific you are, the more you anchor it in, and the more resonance you create. This is your embodiment practice. That higher frequency isn't meant to live only on your meditation cushion. Where it really counts is when it lives in your daily rhythm. Can you hold your frequency while you're doing the dishes, while you're answering emails, when you're dealing with that difficult client, or while you're waiting in line at the DMV? I'm going to find out because I have to go this month. So stay aware and check in those most ordinary moments. Check in with yourself regularly. What frequency are you embodying? And notice your jawline. That's a great tell. This was actually a key focus in the recent session in the Soul-Led Evolution Mentorship, where we worked in the energy of ether. And it's the perfect time with what's been unfolding for June. Ether is the element of oneness, your connection to spirit, source, the divine. The energetic web that creates it all. And this practice of embodiment isn't about escaping into the clouds. It's about creating your own heaven on earth. And one of the biggest shifts available to you this month that I invite you to lean into is how you relate to receiving. Because this piece right here, it's where so many of us, myself included, are still holding tension even without realizing it. So reflect for a moment. How do you respond to compliments? What happens when someone offers to help you? Are you comfortable receiving gifts without rushing to give something back or feeling indebted? Do you allow yourself to be fully seen, supported, celebrated? Or do you hide in the shadows behind a mask or dismissing it with things like, oh, it was nothing, or I got it on sale? So if your body contracts, if you brush it off, if you shrink, you apologize, you diminish, my friend, that is not humility. That's where your engine needs a tune up. And most of the time, you'll notice that energetic block around receiving at the back of your heart chakra. That's the area that opens up to receiving love, support, and all forms of prosperity. So if you're noticing resistance there, know that I'll be sharing a guided meditation later this month to help open that up and support you in embodying the highest frequency for July of receivership. So if you're not subscribed, click that bell so that you don't miss it when it drops. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, like, how have you been feeling the timeline shift into the new earth? How's that been showing up for you? So that's your July energy transmission. Raise your frequency, reap the rewards. That is your equation. And remember, your vibe is your ticket to ride. Until next time.